Welcome back to another episode of Uploaded and Unfiltered. I'm your host Jermaine, and let me be the first to tell you, if you haven't already heard it, it's already the 6th, but happy 2026, happy new year. I hope everybody got to do something fun for the New Year's or just chill. I like to chill on my New Year. Hang out with the family, drink some non-alcoholic beverage, and get back to work. Today's not going to be a long one. Mostly because I have a slight headache, and I want to read off something that I found as the family and I were doing our beginning of the year vision calendar of things that we want the new year to feel like. I think it is valuable information for everybody to do. So if you've never done a vision camera, highly suggested. It's a nice thing to have to just look at throughout the year to be like, oh yeah, I remember I wanted to do that. Ours was hidden once we moved, but now it's going to be front and center. So anytime we walk past it, we can get that little reminder of what we're trying to accomplish this year. So before I get started and tell you what my plans are for my content creation journey this year is, I wanted to read a affirmation card that I found during our vision planning. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is exactly my mindset right now. I've been thinking about this way for probably the last couple of years, and I'm going to share that with you now so you can start to get your juices moving. It goes like this. Life is very simple. I create my experiences by thinking and feeling patterns. What I believe about myself and about life comes true for me. Very simple, very straightforward. Let's break it down. Life is very simple. I know for some people that could be jarring, because you're like, yo, my life is anything but simple. But I would argue to say, because you think that, that's the way your life is. I believe life is very simple. And it all comes down to what you put your focus on, what you spend your time daydreaming about, what you spend your time being anxious over. That is what your life is going to look like. For me, I try my hardest to stay in a neutral or positive mindset. Anything that pops up in my life that could be deemed as negative is automatically a lesson for me to learn, or again, a opportunity for me to pivot and move towards something that will be beneficial to me, something that I actually want, and something that brings me joy. If it doesn't do any of those things, then I try my hardest to get rid of it. And I say hardest as if it's a hard task to do, but it's not. It's really quite easy. Once you let go of the feelings that you have attached to, once you let go of all of those things that you believe that you should be caring about, life is very simple. I create my experiences. I, being the optimal word here, create, meaning I made something out of nothing by my thinking and my feeling pattern. Thoughts are never the issue. Thoughts come and go. It's the thinking that usually causes the stuckness. What you think about those thoughts, how you interact with those thoughts, what feelings pop up when you delve into those thoughts by thinking more and more. Whatever feelings arise from that process is how your life experiences are going to be. In that thinking causes the pattern of feeling. And if your feeling patterns are of ones that you don't want, I highly suggest figuring out a way to change that. And I know that sounds like I'm minimalizing it, but again, life is simple. Life is very simple. If there is a feeling that is popping up in your life that you don't want, it is as easy as saying, hey, thank you, brain, for that thought, but I'm not there. I don't need that. That is not who I am, but I appreciate you bringing it up. It was, hey, that was a cool thought, I guess, but I don't need it. Don't give it any emotion. Don't let it wreck your day. Don't let it make you feel anxious. So, this card is going to get pinned up on a wall or immortalized in some way because I really enjoy it. And you know what? For shits and giggles, I'll go ahead and read the back. I think the back was pretty dope as well. I use my words and thoughts as tools to shape my future. Again, I use my words and thoughts. So what I say out loud about me, about my situation, about the people around me, and what I think about myself and think about my situation and people around me will shape my future. And even more so, shapes my current present. It is so easy to allow yourself to go off on tangents about all the things that you don't want, or how you don't want things to go a certain way, or how sad you would feel if X, Y, and Z happen. I argue that you take that same energy and reverse it and go into what would it feel like when you do get it, or look at all the things that you do have around you that you should be grateful for. And energy on those things, and life becomes so much simpler. I plan on doing some hardcore content creating over the next I'll say 3 to 6 months. I have laid out a schedule for myself. Tentatively it's 11 to 5 the hours that I'll be working, and in those hours I will be creating content, creating shorts, editing, outreach for my clientele, for my coaching business, creating content for the coaching business. And eventually, I haven't figured out what day or the time or how it's going to look, but I know that I want to do this. I've had this idea for more than a couple of years. It's time for me to execute. And this is my new mindset. I'm worried if I come up with an idea, I just need a rough starting points. And the idea is starting a weekly accountability group for creators to call in. And my goal is to have a space where you list out the goals that you want. Let's say you want to do a video a week. Not that this group is going to make sure that you do it, but you'd be surprised how much more accountable you become when you have more people looking at the things that you're doing. And with that, I'm a very cheerleady, push you towards your dream type person. So I'm always going to be excited to see you reach your goal, or in the very least help you reach your goal. And I think having those type of people around you, having that energy around you week in and week out will help you create more content, will help you become more consistent, will help you remember that you're not the only one out there trying to do this. And you're not the only one out there who has aspirations that are grand, for lack of a better word. So I think having that type of community is vital, and I will be spearheading it. I have a few people that I already know. I know my homie Push. We've already kind of talked about it during the stream. I know he's beat down, but there's people in my life that I want to be part of this, but I don't want them to feel pressure that they'd be like, oh, I need to throw up 3 videos a week, or I need to do 5 shorts a week. Like, no, that's my goal. My goal is to do 2 videos, one for Kryptonite, one for Radiant Reflection, 5 short videos for each of my platforms. So that's 10 shorts in altogether. Of course, we'll do the weekly podcast as well as client outreach to make sure that I am available and making sure people know that, hey, I do take on clients. I do help content creators with their mindsets, and I'm amazing at it. Proof's in the pudding. So yeah, this week I'll be testing out my new schedule and just going over the pitfalls of that. I never thought I would be a schedule person, but I see the value in having a schedule. I'm not calling it a schedule anymore. I'm calling it my system, because that's what got this podcast where it is now, never missing a week, because the system is in place. And this schedule / system is what's going to help me push more content out that I know. Not that I know that is needed. I want to do this. Like, I'm looking forward to doing this. And I know the more content I put out there, the more eyeballs I have, the bigger my audience gets. And that's the goal for 2026. Not only to become monetized, but to reach audiences that I have not reached yet, and make sure that the people who are looking for the content I'm making, that I'm putting out enough that it will reach them in this vast array of algorithms and social networks and all that fun stuff. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that was quick and easy, short podcast. The main point of this podcast is, hey, your thoughts and your feeling towards those thoughts shape your reality. Secondarily, it's time to implement a system. It's time to get a system going that'll allow you to stay consistent with your content and make it seem less of a chore and more of a fun event, or something that you look forward to. I love doing this podcast. Even if I wait last minute and do an episode, it's going to happen because that's what I want. Before I let you go, today I went to IKEA with the family, and it's the first time, and I can't remember the last time I did this, I actually brought the camera with me. I set it up in different spots. I shot some footage. I vlogged in public. And there was no hesitation. There was no, oh my God, I hope nobody says anything. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I had a mission, had an idea that I wanted to execute on. I got some dope shots. IKEA is a fun place to shoot a video if you've never done it. Everything looks like a movie set. So take your little tiny camera and go shoot something at IKEA. Like, it's so much fun. Hell, go shoot a little mini sitcom in IKEA. Like, see if you can get away with doing that. But it's just the first of many. I have the technology that I wanted to create the videos that I desired, the videos that have been swimming around my head for years. They're coming out to play, they're coming out to reality. So 1 video a week for each platform, 10 shorts a week, 5 for each platform, 1 weekly podcast, and 1 weekly accountability group conversation. It'll start off, I'm not sure when again, but it will be a 60-minute ordeal. Start off with some words of affirmations or some lesson that we can start off to like start the week off or end the week off. Again, I don't know when this is going to go live, but I know the desire to create it is there. Now I just need to execute on it. There's no hesitation. There's no, oh, I got to figure out when everybody can. No, all that shit will figure itself out. I don't need to know the exact schedule. I don't need to know the exact words that I'm saying. I just need to know that I have a desire to create an accountability group because I believe accountability groups and mastermind groups and whatever the hell you want to call it groups are very beneficial for the right people. And those are the people I'm looking for. So with that, thank you for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast with a fellow content creator. And if you have any questions or any thoughts, or if you want to be a guest on the podcast, there will be a link in the description of this show. And as always, protect your mental, keep creating content, and I'll see you on the next one.